Got Natural Night coming up in a minute 45. HMX can grab his Solar Crest now if he so desires. DK, meanwhile, yep, also going to be going for the BKB. Razor getting quite close to his BKB, actually just a recipe away at this stage. How are we looking on talent choices? So Razor opted for the health. DK went for some mana regen. Nightstalker also went for health. Kanka doesn't have level 10 just yet. Nor does Rubik. Gyrocopter, 25 damage. You pretty much never see the health talent. And Sand King, yeah, 200 health. Alright. Pretty standard stuff across the board. I think you do sometimes see the Agi talent on the Razor, but I like the decision this game to go for the health.
Radiant
they don't really have a ton of instant counter initiation, so if you can survive just that little bit longer until the boat comes in.
Radiant's
also, every little bit of extra health you
attack.
get is getting sort of multiplied with the rum, so that's always helpful. DDC scouting things out here. They were hoping to just find a Dragonite probably running up this hill, shadow bladed. No such luck, however. No one getting revealed. And they aren't actually all here. The Razor is just about to show down bottom. And Max just hoping for a freebie. They did pop the Dragon Freeze, might just be running into them. He's got a Blink Dagger picked up. Fast Fingers might save his life. Start getting revealed. Darkness gets popped. But Max still a little bit antsy about actually going for this. They just don't know where anybody is. You look at the map for them, they now see the Sand King down bottom, and maybe they're like, oh shoot, we should have gone for something, but there was just no way for them to know that SK was there instead of being right behind the over here. They do actually have a ward. Didn't know where the Sand King was. He's got his Yules picked up now, so a little bit less vulnerable to the Nightstalker, a little bit less vulnerable to the Kunkka. Definitely going to be a big help. But this BKB timing is looking pretty scary from Max. So, something that VGJ.Thunder are going to have to be concerned about. Keep this little push going. Yang pinging out down here. He's waiting for the rest of this rotation. Oh, not this rotation to potentially connect across. Just wasting a little bit of time, but there is a Nightstalker chasing after him now. Can they keep eyes on him? Heals up. He's going to have another burrow in 1 second. Looks like he should be fine. They're still chasing him. Gets the Sandstorm off, and that's going to be the end of that. 3-man gank from Max over towards mid. This might be a little bit more than they bargained for, though. DDC, can he get a good save? No, he won't be able to. He gets immediately lifted. They get the Torrent Boat combo down. DDC hoping for that Nightmare save, but not going to be enough. Razor even popping the BKB just to make sure that they get that kill. And now going to have to see what other kind of pressure they can find, but with the DK ultimate popped, should be a quick tier 2 tower push down here at bottom. Yang gonna try and set things up a little bit. Could maybe find a catch on the way out. Gyro only 25 seconds away from respawning, but still quite a lot of this nighttime.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Just over here farming up. Radiant Tri-Camp. They are not risking anything. Just putting the Dragonite in front. He's gonna right click it down. And Max now retreating as a team, hoping to catch something, but will not find anything. So the Razor is huge. He's got 1400 gold towards his Shivas, which is going to be very annoying for the OD especially, I think, to deal with. This hero hates attack speed manipulation of any kind. Kunkka's going to have his level 2 boat soon, a little bit of extra damage there. Gyrocopter desperately needs his BKB. So we're not too far away from that, should be able to pick it up in short order. He's got the Tri-Camp to potentially go and farm up, though it does look like Fade is taking that over for now. But the vision game now heavily in favor of Max. They've got pretty good wards around the place. VGJ.Thunder, DDC is going to do his best to come out here and get a little bit of vision down, but just not really that much coverage. And, of course, Nightstalker making things a little bit more difficult. I feel like we just really haven't seen this OD turn up in this game just yet. I still believe in his late game strength, but he's going to look very, very weak for the next couple of team fights. Like 10-second BKB on the Dragonite, 9-second BKB on the Razor. I mean, Nightstalker's still a little ways away from his, but shouldn't take him too long. Like I said, Max are not a great Roshan lineup, but they do have the Solar Crest at the very least, and they are quite survivable. It's going to take them a while, but it looks like they should be able to get it. Dire Scan is going to reveal that this is going on. DDC getting jumped on. Silenced up. Does get Force Staffed away back to safety, but it's VGJ.Thunder. No contest. Just going to take this as an opportunity to shove out mid, shove out bottom, and kind of see what they can do in terms of stalling out this Aegis. They don't want to fight until the Gyrocopter BKB, so just gonna let Sylar do his thing, try and finish farming that up. Gonna get some decent damage on this bottom tier 2 tower. Freeze having to play somewhat careful, doesn't really see too much in the area. And you know, never know if Rubik has picked up a blink recently, or if you get X'd and you have to imprison yourself, then you're also probably dead at that point, so needs to be very careful about how he's choosing to split push. Dragonite, what's his next item going to be? Maybe just an AC? Help out your team a little bit more against the Flak Cannon. Could also see the case for just buying more damage. Regeneration! We'll see what he opts for. Trying to spoon feed the Night Stalker some Ancients. This is painfully slow, but looks like he is eventually going to get his BKB. DDC just trying to get another Force Staff. Yang does already have a Force Staff completed. And OD working towards his Hurricane Pike.
I'll take that.
Probably Pike into BKB is going to be the play. But again, with these BKBs on the max side, I don't think we're going to be seeing anything too special out of this OD for the next little bit. He has at least started to close the gap in terms of farm. I think he was like 2k, or I guess he's still pretty much 2k behind the DK at this stage. Max gonna turn up here, looking at mid. Rubik jumping forward, hoping for a lift, not gonna find anything. And I would think that Max are gonna try and force this up onto the high ground. Sylar wants this bottom tier 2 tower, should be able to grab it quickly. He does have his BKB, the glyph's gonna be popped, Sanctum coming back, ready to try and defend. But if he gets instantly lifted as he tries to blink in, that could be big trouble, and they do have some vision in the area. Yang can try and come from the opposite side of this fight. If they could burst down the Dragonite without him getting off his BKB, that would be huge, but now they get the lift up onto the Sand King, the burst back through. Can they keep him alive? Should be able to Yules himself. Still surviving for now, but I think he's going to get X across. Nope. Well, doesn't even matter. They've got the grip over on the Razor, but he is BKB'd. He also has the Aegis Fade coming through. Can they keep this Razor alive? I don't think they even really need to. Sylar gonna pop his BKB and try and fight this one out, but he's taking way too much damage. Dragonite getting forced back, however. And Razor loses the Aegis well outside of the base. They're now gonna get the call down over onto the Rubik. Is that a self-imprisonment? Looks like it is. This is getting very confusing. Bane now getting caught out. Nice X combo from the Kunkka. VGJ.Thunder hoping to find just a little bit more there, but maybe they have defended successfully. No more DK ultimate. They are healing him up a little bit. Freeze, trying to stack things up a bit more. Still has the Sandy's Eclipse in reserve. No BKB for 20 seconds for the Razor. There's going to be an X marks the spot out over on the Ench. Still fairly tanky. Sylar doing his best with the Flak Cannon to clear them out. And now they've got the jump forward with the Pike. Big damage on the Razor. He's also getting chased down by the homing missile. Now they've got the Sand King TPing over onto the Shrine. Should be able to get a blink in. Burrow Strike through. They've caught the Razor. They've also lost the DK. The Sandy's Eclipse cleans up one. One more auto attack from Freeze finds a second. They did buy back on DDC, but Max just sticking around that little bit too long. Letting the Sand King respawn on them, and now going to lose a lot on the swing back. VGJ.Thunder, they don't push that quickly, but I think should still be able to grab a tier 2 tower out of this. And Yang actually going to force things in down at bottom, so that's going to be... It's going to force some attention over from the Kunkka to go and deal with that. And VGJ.Thunder quickly clean this up. Sylar also focusing on the top tier 2. They know that there's no way that they're going to get a tier 3 at this stage, so may as well just get as much gold out of this as they possibly can. Their tier 3 is on a sliver of health. This is probably a big part of why Max chose to stick around so long. They just really wanted that tier 3 so that they could take the shrines, maybe secure a secondary Roshan, and look to start closing out the game from there. Freeze not going to be opting for a BKB this game. It is in fact going to be going for a Lincoln Sphere instead. I mean, most of the lockdown on Max is single target, so makes sense. You know, we got a blink lift. There are plenty of ways to pop it by the same token, but I think think he'll probably get away with this.
Radiant
I'm interested to
are
see what
scanning.
talent he goes for at 20. I've seen both the strength and the sanity's eclipse a decent amount, so. Just judging by his other selections, like judging by the 20 attack speed over the 250 health, I would guess that he's going to take the Sanity's Eclipse multiplier, but the strength is just so much health. We're talking about an OD with potentially like 3k health at that point, which is just very, very difficult to chew through. I thought Shiva's coming on Razor. Oh, speak of the devil, he's got that completed. DK, what was his choice? Okay, he's gone for a halberd. I don't know if seeing these halberds is going to convince Freeze that maybe he should go for BKB instead. I think the Night Stalker, if he ever gets any farm, he also has halberd plans. May even disassemble his Solar Crest once he gets the Sange to grab the halberd. But, yeah. We've also got evasion being built up on the VGJ.Thunder side. Sylar going to be going for the butterfly. Very natural item progression here, given that most of the damage on the max side is just right click. And Rubik going to grab himself a gem. We got a, what, 5k net worth lead in Thunder's favor at this stage. So Max just going to try and reclaim a bit of map control if they can. And do go for a smoke. This was not scouted out by Thunder. They are a little bit split across the map. They see that the Enchantress is up top. They also spot this OD down bottom. DDC sitting behind him might just end up tanking the gank. Freeze can get the blink away. He will be able to, and DDC will be the one going down. Rubik wanting to chase a little bit further forward, and actually Kunkka finds a nice angle. We'll get the X off, forces the imprisonment, and I don't know if Freeze is going to be able to escape at this point. Another X in a couple of seconds. Freeze trying to juke for dear life. He almost got the blink off, but now he's trapped, and he will be brought down. Such a nice intercept from Kunkka. And with that, OD dead for 60 seconds. Sylar going to do his best to threaten up top, but I don't think he's any match for the fact that this mid lane tier 3 is already at 79 HP. Alright, so he's going to probably do a little bit of damage. Does not want to use the flat cannon. Knows that he needs it for this upcoming fight. They do have a buyback available for the OD. 10 seconds to go on the Bane. Fiend Script going to be an important tool, but you do have to remember that this time around Max do not have an Aegis available. Can they get a burst strike off? They won't be able to. They actually jump straight into the torrent. Yang in big trouble. Going to get chain stunned up. Won't even be able to get off the Yules. He does buy back immediately. Buy back from the OD. They're going to try and force this fight. Sylar, can he keep anybody here? That's the big question. Yang blink in 2 seconds time. The BKBs now start to get popped as they focus in. Freeze going to be completely useless for a couple of seconds here as he has to just wait at the BKBs. No defensive imprisonment available. Nice 3-man burst strike from Yang. They've got the Fiend Script now out, but a good defensive imprisonment from the Rubik keeps him alive. Still 2 heroes in the hole for VGJ.Thunder. Can they catch anything? That's the question. It's only cores, and that means not enough detection left. Dragon Knight just going to walk his way out, and that one gank from Max opens up the mid lane, forces 2 buybacks. And VGJ.Thunder now find themselves at not a huge deficit, but starting to look like they could very well lose this game. The BKBs are still wearing down little by little, but I think Max still have enough left to be able to close this out before the OD is going to become too much of a problem. Freeze forced to buy back there. His item progression getting stalled even further. And yeah, Razor's on the let's end this game while we still have seconds left on our BKBs. Just gonna go for the eggs. And Sylar also realizing that their backs are perhaps up against the wall a little bit and that he needs to do some heavy lifting for the team. He's gonna queue up the Divine Rapier. It's still gonna take him a little while to farm. How long is Roshan playing?
Just what I've been waiting.
Ooh, about a minute.
Bounty!
But, I mean, VGJ.Thunder don't want to... They kind of need a pick off at this point, but they also don't want to make any super aggressive plays. Sylar way up on the mid lane. Can they save him? That's the question. Force staff forward. He does have the BKB. They managed to dodge the combo. I guess they didn't manage to X him. Kunkka just threw the torrent boat, hoping to follow it up off the Dragon Tail, but... Oh, alright, VGJ.Thunder, they're smoked up. They saw the Dragon form being used. They're gonna go for the immediate re-goose. What can they find? Yang. Can they find the lead off onto the Dragon Knight? Might be a 2-man burst strike. I don't think they have the vision at the moment. Central Ward getting dropped down. They just can't really see anything. And now they get the lift back. X marks the spot. Also there, they've got plenty of defensive tools to keep him alive.
Dire's top
Max
tower
know it
is
as
under
well.
attack.
They're going to actually be able to find the Kunkka. A couple of seconds until he gets the boat off, but he won't be able to find it. Now the Burst back onto the Rubik, going to put himself under once again. HMX trying to escape. He's quite tanky. They can't really afford to lose the gem here. The DK getting Fiend Script on the back lines. They don't really have the damage, but his BKB is starting to wear a little bit thin, and Sylar's chasing him down. Yang also waiting. He's going to try for the TP out, but keep him locked down. He's just inside of the sentry range. There you go. VGJ.Thunder, I said that they needed a pick-off. They find 3. Very nice team play, very nice coordination. Max just kind of split up. You got some heroes over here. Whoops. wrong button. What's my thing? And VGJ.Thunder Roshan is also respawned, so they now have an Aegis and Cheese. Are they going to cover those buybacks? I guess not. Are they going to give the Aegis to the OD? I mean, he did buy back earlier. Aegis on the Gyrocopter, Cheese on the OD. Razor coming over towards the pit for whatever reason. I don't think they were in any position to contest that. At the very least, they did not lose the gem on the Night Stalker, so that's good. And we do have the 2x Sanity's Eclipse multiplier from OD. So some very big damage coming up, and like I was saying, these BKBs, you know, 8 seconds and 8 seconds, still pretty healthy, but a couple more team fights, and things could be looking very different. And VGJ.Thunder, now that they've got the Aegis, they might actually be able to take the next team fight on their side of the map. You look at all the lanes, they're all kind of shoved in. So we're probably got one team fight on the Radiant side of the map before Max can even think about getting back over onto the Dire side. And every single team fight is going to cost them another round of BKB charges. EDC also getting a little bit envious, wants a gem of his own. Get some lockdown. Oh, get some lockdown on the vision game. As VGJ.Thunder. Wait, when did Top Rax die? What the heck? Oh, top tower.
Bottom shrine has
So
fallen.
it was in the middle of that fight? Was there just a huge wave? I'm just looking at VGJ.Thunder attacking this shrine, and I'm like, how? How are they doing this? But apparently, top 2-3 is dead.
Are scanning.
So Max gonna lose even more map control off of that. They make their way outside of the base, but 15 seconds until daytime. Just dewarding a little bit, making sure that they can keep the farm rolling in. Dragonite is going to be going for a heart. Ooh. Alright, there you go. Rapier purchased for Sylar. He's in complete fighting shape at this point. Still has plenty of duration left on the Aegis. They got the Lincoln's finally picked up for the OD. Jumps forward. Has the imprisonment onto somebody. Can they get a combo coming out here? Razor going to run in. BKB gets popped. Sylar with the flak. Just going to start laying waste to everybody, but he is getting his damage drained up. They've got the Lotus Orb to help him out a bit. Yang doesn't want to lose this gem, but it might just happen. Can he get the burst strike out? He won't be able to. Sylar now comes back in without the BKB. They've got the Fiend Script on the Dragon Knight. BKB's protecting him for the time being, but is it going to be enough? That's the big question. They get the disarm onto Gyro, just forced to turn tail and run. Still has the Aegis, no BKB for this Razor. Now it's Freeze's turn to turn up and do some big work. He's got the Sandy's Eclipse available. Wrong knows exactly what the situation is. Tries to hold him back with the lift, but they managed to get the Nightmare onto the Razor on the high ground. One more auto attack's going to do it. Freeze not even forced to expend the ultimate. VGJ.Thunder only losing Yang in the midst of all of that. Fade dropped very low, but actually managed to stand his ground and just auto attack away. How does this Enchantress have... Where did he get the gold for this? I think he actually did a ton of damage to the DK in that fight while he was Fiend Script. Alright. No more Aegis, so Sylar does need to be a little bit careful. I don't know what the next item selection is going to be. Lincoln, Satanic. What else? Scotty is not a completely outlandish idea. Guess we'll have to see what he queues up. EDC seemingly... Wait, what's the gem situation? We've only got... Can I do this? I can't. Nice. Only got the 2 gems. Yeah. He's getting run at.
Gotcha.
Ooh, can they find him? They found him. He's got a pike, but maybe that's about it. Further into the trees. Nightstalker's still chasing. Fade's got another 4 staff. I think he should be fine. Yeah, Gets the blink off. He's going to be A-okay.
That should help.
I said at the start of this game that I thought VGJ.Thunder might be experimenting a little bit. They might try out some different stuff. That DPL is really the perfect environment to do that. Hasn't really been the case. Maybe they were trying something a little bit different with some of these, with some of the picks. I'm not sure if they're a big Enchantress team necessarily, but the way that they've won this game, or the way that they've put themselves at a slight lead at this point, is the thing that they're known for, which is just kind of their teamfight execution. And that does seem to be where Max are struggling a little bit. Night Stalker is going to be going for a nullifier, but again, this hero just does not farm all that quickly. Big smoke coming forward. Who can they find? Do they have the right angle? That's the question. Sylar, he's got the cheese now. Torrent is going to end up catching Dota2. The boat also coming in. DDC immediately dead. Yang should be next to fall, it looks like, and he gets a blink out. There's the burst strike, but he's being dragon-tailed. And VGJ.Thunder, without their lockdown in the area, they're just going to lose 3. They're just going to leave that gem on the ground. Anyone? Kanka? Nope. Lonely gem. Oh, Rubik's seen it, I think. Nope, Rubik hasn't seen it.
Dire's bottom shrine.
Maybe Razor. Perhaps Razor will see the gem. Ooh, no. He does not. Max very keen to push up onto the high ground. There is a glyph available. Creep wave still a little ways away.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
Wait, but backdoor protection is disabled. Alright. There you go. Glyph comes out, still 25 seconds to go on the Sand King. No buyback. This is looking like a pretty easy tier 3, but no DK ultimate. Trouble for the OD. He used the imprisonment offensively. He's going to get X back in a second, it looks like, and Silo just runs in. BKB active, flat cannon away. They've got the grip now onto the Dragon Knight that can't save him. 2 dead. Sylar's still chasing. They know that the Kunkka is over in the trees. He doesn't even have a TP scroll. He's just going to accept his fate. As Night Stalker does manage to slink away. Will he find the gem? He finds a DD. Definitely going to pick that one up. And VGJ.Thunder hold successfully. Didn't even have to do anything fancy there. Just kind of ran in with freeze. A couple of spells got used. Nothing left to really cancel the Fiend's Grip. Now we swing back the other way. Max are really falling all over themselves to end this. Is that a... Wait. Is that a second rapier? Oh my god, Sylar. What is... I guess there's just nothing else that he feels is all that useful. If he's gonna die with 1 rapier, why not just die with 2 rapiers? Alright. He went for the... He's got the homing missile charges. Yang coming in, tries for the burrow, doesn't get it. Force death back, still has Yules, does get lifted. They've got the Nightmare, they've got the imprisonment. The flat cannon just kills off the Rubik, no problem whatsoever. Rubik didn't even get close to that fight, and now he's just a puddle.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gyro, full no boots mode. Sylar just relying on the Sanjanyasha and Butterfly move speed to get around. But alright, mid lane Iraq's cleaned up. Freeze, level 23. Working his way in towards the probably the Arcane Orb in Steel. Can they catch this Razor? Not at the moment. Gyrocopter getting locked down a little bit. Chipping away at him. They do have some heals. Jump in. Burst strike. They don't know that the Dragon Knight is there. Sylar running forward with the flat cannon, just going off the tower. He's got the cheese. Healing back up. Do they have a Fiend's Grip available? They do. They're using it over on the Dragon Knight. He's still BKB'd for now. Freeze. Now it's his time to shine. Sylar's already used everything that he's got. Yang also jumping in. Finds a nice 2-man burst strike. Freeze with the Sand Needs Eclipse. Drops down 1. Buyback off the Night Stalker. Dragon Knight also going to end up being dropped. Does not have a buyback for himself. Wrong running forward, but this is not a fight that he can continue to take. Sylar's healed back up a little bit. Another flat cannon coming soon. He's going to charge forward, maybe just use it off the buildings. Flak now up. That's going to force the Razor all the way back as they just right-click all the way through that BKB. Night Stalker hits the deck, and with 3 dead, looks like no chance to defend. DDC even going to head over to the Radiant Fountain just to build up his Force Staff. VGJ.Thunder know that they have claimed this game, and Sylar doing it in spectacular fashion. Freeze! He didn't even do that well in the lane. I feel like he just got countered by the BKBs through the mid game. played decently towards the end, I think. Some good imprisons here and there. Managed to keep himself alive, but really, just the Sylar show at the end of the day. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. This is a 2-game series, and again, I guess it bears repeating that Team Max are already eliminated. They're not going to be able to move forward here in the DPL 2018, DPL Top 2018 Season 1. If you're going to keep watching and you see the game on the ticket, it's still the 2016 ticket for whatever reason, but I can assure you it is 2018. You are in the right place, and VGJ.Thunder... This game did not look easy for them. I'm actually a little bit concerned. I really thought that they were going to come in here and walk all over Max. Like I said, Max have not won a single... They're very much an open qualifier team. They haven't won a single series in DPL so far, but they really tested Thunder. The support rotations were excellent in the early game, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can do in our second game of this series. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you soon. Oh, we should check out we'll check out the scoreboards and stuff. Why not? Anything too interesting? It was a very close game, experience and net worth wise. But there you go, Sylar on Gyrocopter on the dire side. Farm your Tricamp, buy some rapiers, easy game. So I'll catch you guys for game 2 in a second.
See my days are cold without you. I'm hurting while I'm with you. See my days are cold without you. And though my heart can't take no more, I keep on running back to you, 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 running back. See my days are cold without you.
Radiant team ban.
Whoops. I forgot to unmute myself. Hey everybody! And for those of you in Dota TV, you're now a little bit confused, or you're going to hear the intro
10
twice. But welcome back
remaining.
to DPL Top 2018 Season 1. This is Game 2 of Team Max versus
5
VGJ.Thunder.
remaining.
For those of you
Dire
who haven't been
team
watching DPL closely, we've got 2 groups of 6 teams. It's a 2-game round robin in each group, and then
Radiant
after that, the
team
top
pick.
4 teams from each group will be moving forward into the playoffs. Unfortunately for Team Max, they're already mathematically eliminated, so they're just playing for a little bit of practice and a little bit of pride here. VGJ.Thunder, this is still their first series, so they still actually have the opportunity to completely sweep this group
10 seconds
and end
remaining.
up on top, which would definitely be a very nice start for them.
5 seconds
Though, as we've
remaining.
been saying, I also want VGJ.Thunder to be trying some new stuff. I went and looked up some of the numbers in between the previous game and getting into the draft for this
Radiant
one.
team
That was actually only
The
ever that
sky.
was their 3rd ever Enchantress pick. They've actually banned it really heavily, 26 all-time bans, but that was their 3rd ever Enchantress game. So looks like they are trying a couple of sort of more early aggressive things out, because that does seem to be, that's a lot of what they've lost to, is what I
10
would say
seconds
recently. You look at those
remaining.
EG games, they got rolled over in like 25
5
minutes.
seconds remaining.
The VP series, also very convincing. VP with a ton of momentum, very aggressive, just up in their face, and VGJ.Thunder just couldn't ever quite stabilize. So it looks like they are trying to maybe adopt a little bit of that playstyle and make it their own, which is exciting. They are just going to grab the Naga Siren here at
Disruptor.
the beginning of this game, forces out a Disruptor pick from Team Max, and this is actually, their draft is looking a lot like what VGJ.Thunder were running at Galaxy Battles 2.0. They were picking the Tusk nonstop. They really loved their
Radiant
Disruptor.
team
They were
back.
getting those 2 heroes a lot, and they were winning a lot of team fights that way. But VGJ.Thunder just going to go straight into the Jakiro. Kind of a poor man's Disruptor in a lot of ways when it comes to comboing up with the Naga Siren. It's no Static Storm Kinetic Field, but you do at least have an Ice Path and a Macropyre,
10
and that kind of
seconds
does the
remaining.
same job. I like the Jakiro as well with the Naga. They've got
5
some good lane
seconds
pressure
remaining.
here. Tons of kill potential actually between these 2 supports. They both do a decent amount of
Dire
damage.
team ban.
And pretty reasonable lockdown too. You know, sometimes you see a support duo, like let's say you pick something that used to be quite popular back when support Clockwork was popular, is people would pick, for example, Clockwork AA as your support duo, and you're like, oh well, that works fine, right? You've got set
10
up for the cold
seconds
feet with
remaining.
cogs, or we've got a little bit of initiation with the hook
5
shot. We got some
seconds
long
remaining.
range, and then all of a sudden the enemy team picks like a Quap or any kind of blink hero, and you're like, oh crap, we don't have the lockdown for that, and now we only really have like potentially one position, your off lane, to be able to deal with that. And it's not easy to play Dota when you've only got one hero that can start fights for you, because it makes it very easy for the opposing cores to just be like, well, is this hero on the map? Yes, I can farm. Is this hero off the map? Maybe I play a tiny bit more careful. But knowing that there's only one hero that can potentially set up on you on the map is always a
Radiant
really nice
team
thing
ban.
to have. So I like the VGJ.Thunder. They got a little bit of extra catch mixed in here, which is always going to be good. It'll be interesting to see how the team fight situation pans out, whether Max or VGJ.Thunder are going to be the ones to really, really escalate on the team
Dire
fight.
team ban.
As Max, I'm not going to call it completely uninspired, but they are just banning out stuff that Thunder played in the previous game, getting rid of that Sand King. Yang played a fantastic game on the SK, so looking forward to seeing what he can get done
Radiant team
on
pick.
whatever hero he's playing this time around. It is a very
Dire
difficult
team
off lane
pick.
to play against, and it's very difficult safe lane to play against, especially now that the gyrocopter is also getting picked up. So there's going to be shards, there's going to be snowball, there's going to be glimpse, there's going to be homing missiles. I don't even know what can play in that lane
10 seconds
at this point.
remaining.
Potentially, I think Puck
5
is
seconds
okay,
remaining.
but then still kind of hard to play against the Disruptor, but at least the Tusk Gyrocopter you can do alright. Omni would have been good, but they've banned it themselves. That Razor also being banned out. And we do have a Viper ban. The Viper and OD bans are both a little bit interesting, and that might give us some clues as to what each team is looking towards in terms of their lineup. VGJ.Thunder, what are they going to go for? If they really want to just keep going with the early game kind of theme, could just pick up a DK. I think fairly decent. Lifestealer, quite good this game, though they are somewhat lacking for
Radiant
a vehicle.
team pick.
But we are going to see that puck pick, so maybe that makes the Lifestealer even a little bit more likely. Juggernaut also pretty good in this kind of situation. I don't know if VGJ.Thunder have any other heroes that they've been thinking about a lot. They did pick some Lesh the other day.
10 seconds remaining.
Which I don't know if that worked for them, actually. It looks like they did win the
5
one game
seconds remaining.
with the Leshrac. They also had a Jakiro in that game, so lots of early game, lots of tower push potential. Lesh against Gyro is kind of weird. Whoever gets stunned first is just gonna straight up die. They're both very bursty heroes. But I think it could work out okay. Maybe a little bit less likely now that they've picked up the puck. They've already got some magical damage coming in there. Still not 100% clear whether or not it's going to be an offlane puck or a mid puck, but I do think we're probably leaning towards puck in the offlane at this stage, and then picking up something else for mid perhaps. What would be good for Team Max in this situation? That's sort of the big question. They don't have the best catch for... They have okay catch for the Jakiro. Whenever you play against Jakiro, and I know it's not a big deal because he is just a support hero, but I think one of the big things to look at is just having a hero that can make the Jakiro into a free kill. Because a lot of the time as a Jakiro player, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going to a side lane, you're going to be spamming Dual Breath and Liquid Fire on the wave, and you're going to be threatening the tower quite actively. I mean, a Jakiro can quite easily take a tier 1, or even do quite a bit of damage to a tier 2 if he's left by himself. But he's not a very mobile hero. So if you have a hero like a Storm Spirit, or, I mean, I'm about to list a bunch of heroes that are pretty terrible in the current meta, but like, you know, a Storm or a Slark, Queen of Pain is good. Any of these heroes that can kind of just go kill the Jakiro pretty much for free. Either you're gonna get those free kills, or you just don't have to deal with the Jakiro anymore. He's gonna realize, oh shoot, I'm just dying for free every single time I try and go and do this split push nonsense as a position 4 or 5. Maybe I should just back myself up. So could maybe see something like that from Max. They've still got their mid roll that they're gonna be looking to pick up. They grabbed themselves the Underlord, so
5 seconds
nice
remaining.
team fight. Just sort of doubling down on the team fight aspect a little bit of their lineup. But I think they have enough catch that they shouldn't get too many circles run around them by VGJ.Thunder.
Radiant team.
And I don't even know if that's kind of the style VGJ.Thunder are looking to play. Nah, they're definitely trying to experiment with this early active, aggressive kind of stuff. And taking a little bit of a page out of, let's call it the EG playbook, I suppose. I think EG and Fnatic seem to be the two teams really hammering the
10 seconds
the Pugna
remaining.
pick at the moment, as the Pugna gets grabs. Similar
5
to
seconds
talking about the
remaining.
Lesh or any of these other burst magical damage heroes. I think he's quite good against the Gyrocopter.
Dire
Pretty good
team
against
back.
the Underlord as well. Don't really care about the Atrophy Aura at all. They have so much burst magical damage at this stage. And yeah, that lifesteal ban definitely needed to happen, because I think VGJ.Thunder would have quite comfortably picked that up in this situation. It's good against the Underlord, it's good against the
10 seconds
Gyrocopter.
remaining.
For Thunder, there's still other
5
options.
seconds remaining.
We've seen Newbie playing Monkey King recently against Underlord, but I think
Dire
Monkey King
team
is kind of
pick.
off the table in this situation because their lineup is quite squishy on the whole. So, I mean, you got the Naga for setup potentially, but I think they want somebody who can frontline for them a little bit more, which kind of leaves like Jug or
Radiant team pick.
what else? Nope, just Jug.
Juggernaut.
No frills, nothing too fancy, just good old Juggernaut. Interesting to see what kind of build he's going to go for. Probably nothing too shocking. Maybe Yasha into Battle Fury. Maybe he won't even get the B Fury this game if they feel like they're snowballing really hard.
10
And for
seconds
Team Max,
remaining.
what do you pick in this situation?
5 seconds remaining.
It's tough. Like, you kind of want to pick something squishy that can jump in because you want to kill the Pugna and the puck, but by the same token, there's like enough lockdown and burst damage on the VGJ.Thunder side that if you pick something like a Queen of Pain, you might just get netted or silenced and just instantly die. So that's a tough line to walk in this game, but it might be the kind of thing that they need. Also, you don't want to be picking too many int heroes against Pugna. Max
Now
just gonna
select your heroes.
grab themselves a bristle. Okay. Not a huge fan of this, I gotta say. So what are they doing? Are they sending... Is Bristleback going safe lane? I don't think they can... Do they have a very good aggro tri-lane? I don't really think so. I think Puck is fine versus Underlord or Bristle. Can we tell by who's playing what? So yeah, it is offlane Underlord. That's their mid player on Bristleback. I can't imagine Bristleback does all that well against Pugna mid. Like, Pugna definitely pushes the wave better than you do. He can just keep spamming Decrepify on you, which is very annoying. I guess at the very least you can turn your back every single time a blast is coming out. And maybe you can just tank up enough. Like, he probably buys Hood first, and then he can keep the wave off of his tower, so Pugna can't blast it down early on. But I think Bristleback is quite a bad hero in general. He sort of has one timing where he's really, really strong in the early game, and I guess that's what they're trying to ward off here. But if the game drags even slightly, I think VGJ.Thunder's lineup still does just fine, and I think Bristleback just falls off like nothing else.
Prepare for battle.
We'll see. There are a couple of other teams that do pick the Bristle occasionally. I think Secret play it now and then. Fnatic. I mean, any team that Envy is on, he always seems to have the Bristleback as kind of a go-to for certain situations, especially versus Broodmother. But we shall see how he does in this game. Does not have any regen just yet. And looks like no aggro, nothing too fancy. Just going to be going for pretty standard lanes. Freeze is going to be... Actually, so it is... Oh, it's Pugna offlane. Alright, well, Bristle versus Puck, that's probably fine. So I misspoke. I should have looked at who was playing what. So it's actually... Yeah, it's Puck mid, offlane Pugna. Even more sort of a page out of the Fnatic playbook. We saw Universe playing offlane Pugna the other day. So it does look like Pugna is just going to be helped out a little bit by the Naga. He desperately needs it. I think otherwise... Without the Naga Siren here, he just feeds. You get glimpse back, to die repeatedly to Gyrocopter. They do have decent ways to push the wave, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult, but I think in general this is still a very tough situation for Pugna. Are they really just going to give them 3? Is that the situation
The
here?
battle begins.
Yeah, no contest. All right. 3 bounties for free. It was 4 bounties in the previous game, so I guess this is a slightly better start for VGJ.Thunder. Freeze going to let the range creep go in front here. How's the block looking for 897? Whiffs it a little bit. Right around the tower. Still gets it in a pretty decent spot. We'll see if Freeze gets this tonight. No, no chance. VGJ.Thunder blocking real hard. Going to try and send their range creep out in front a little bit as well, but wrong. Doing just the right thing. And it's going to catch that range creep, put the wave in a good position, though. Equilibrium and everything is going to get immediately thrown out the window. Everybody auto-attacking one another. Sylar not having too much fun against the Atrophy Aura early on here. And actually, what, first blood? Never mind. Alright, Tusk turned up down bottom, and that was just a straight-up kill. My bad. I thought Tusk was top, but he definitely is not, and they are just going to try and kill the crap out of this Pugna. Fade survived, able to salve himself back up. Pugna very, very squishy. Nice shards in. Can they get this kill? They got the home missile coming forward. Looks like they won't be able to chase any further. Being able to zone them away a little bit. Bristleback using a lot of mana early on here. Freeze just going to be going for full nukes. Looks like wants to try and shove the wave as best he can. The silence also going to be helpful if you're just about to die to the Bristle because he's spamming quills. At least Waning Rift's going to give you a little bit of a chance to survive. Potentially even more than the phase shift. But in terms of how these lanes are going to play out, it looks like the Underlord is actually doing pretty well here. I don't know how they lost control of this lane or what the situation is. Good shards from Rai. His prize is going to be 2 bounty runes for himself. But yeah, they lost control of this top lane a little bit, and now VGJ.Thunder trying to reset it somewhat. DDC does get the pull through, but Underlord able to aggro it. Looks like it's all still going to get dragged together, and they'll just settle for some damage, maybe farming this up a bit. Nope. No, not a missed kill. Tusk just going to take a spill to the Ancients, and he'll be back in quite a while. It still takes a little bit for him to respawn.
Invisibility!
Alright, so this non-stop spam continues down bot. It'll be very interesting to see where Tusk rotates to once he respawns. Probably just straight back to bottom. He's going to pick up some items for his team. Head back down. He's got the snowball now, so a bit more playmaking potential out of that. Up top, big damage onto the Underlord. Is he going to be brought down? One more auto attack from Sylar seals the deal. They just picked up the level 2 spin, it looks like, and enough damage to bring him down. Just lurking around. There's the vision off to the side. They see Fade. He's not the target that they want, though. Yang definitely much easier to bring down at this stage. They do have the kinetic field up on the Disruptor, but no glimpse just yet. So with the recent changes, they're not going to be able to check that. Fade trading a couple of hits with Tusk. Gyrocopter also coming in. He's only got the 1 point up on the Rocket Barrage, using it now. Fade in big trouble. They're going to try and save him with the decrep. Can they do it? The Dual Breath also coming through, and Fade just way too tanky. Naga Siren with a Stout Shield, only 1 point up in the barrage, and I don't even know if the Gyro had the mana to use it. Or if he did, it mostly got soaked by the creep wave. Well, that's a little bit embarrassing for Tusk. Setting up poorly there. They do force the rotation out of DDC, so HMX is going to breathe a little bit more easily up top, though I'm not quite sure how easily. Freeze, picking up some decent CS on mid lane, a little bit behind in terms of the experience. But I mean, it's only 5 denies.
Regeneration!
The difference right now. Yeah, Underlord definitely pushing this top lane as far as he can, knowing that there isn't really too many opportunities to do anything to him. Pugna gonna get caught up here. Rocket Barrage getting split. DDC helping out somewhat. Yang, 17 wand charges. Still keeping himself alive. Does have the decrypt. Do they have enough magical damage left? Looks like they do, but they turn around and they manage to find 2. Gyrocopter brought down. Disruptor looking like he also might not survive. Tries for the TP out. Will be able to make it back to the fountain, but a 2-for-1 at bottom and a 2-for-1 that definitely favors VGJ.Thunder. Gyrocopter going down, and now Fade actually around the side here. I want this Gyrocopter kill. They're going to net him up. Do they have enough damage? Dual Breath doing decent work. They've also got the Liquid Fire. Fade tanking things up quite a bit. Gyro does have a salve, so he's going to be okay. Salar using the spin just to force things back up top. Does get his phase boots delivered as well. And actually 2 points up in the Blade Dance early on here. Full get out of my lane build from Sylar. Lays into HMX with a couple of auto attacks, but can already see Atrophy Aura. Keeping him up. Back just grabs himself a Soul Ring early on. Very low on mana. We'll probably go and maybe tap this shrine with the Underlord in a second. Nope, actually gonna head over towards the bottom shrine. Fade's looking for him. They're tied in the face. Do they have enough damage? There's the net. DDC might just be able to get in range for the Dual Breath. He tries for it. Does manage to carry through. Freeze also coming in. But Bristleback, he's got his back turned. Can he tap the shrine? He just manages it, but the Riptide cooldown is too low. Disruptor now turning things around somewhat. Freeze looks like he will be brought down. DDC still fighting. Another Dual Breath. Another Riptide. Looks like Disruptor. One more auto attack's gonna do it. What does the Tusk have left? Nothing. Net onto the creep. Bit of a misclick from Fade, but VGJ.Thunder ends up being 2 kills for 1, and also Sylar picking himself up a solo kill. Did he get the whole Omni Slash on him?
Loaded to the gills.
Looks like maybe spun the wave down and then Omni'd him. Poor old Underlord. Alright, so this game, early game, looking much better for VGJ.Thunder. Support movements really getting a lot done. Max just kind of struggling to completely take over this bottom lane. Gyrocopter does have decent farm, but actually he's not even too far behind the Jug, so doing pretty well. But Pugna has his arcane boots now, so he's going to be sustaining the spam for all of these heroes down bottom. And Puck is actually waiting in the trees. Free's going to come popping out, does not have himself a Dream Coil. So we will lose the Underlord over at top. Freeze doesn't even have phase shift. Alright. Jaunt himself away. Nicely done. Dream Coil comes in now. Yang with the burst damage. They don't know that the Tusk is actually over here, but he might just tick out anyway. To the dual breath. Oh my god. The very last tick. Gyrocopter's going to be okay to juke his way through the trees, but looks like wrong. Might not be quite so lucky. Freeze rotating through. Does have quite a few wand charges, keeping himself alive. They burst down the Disruptor, but at what cost? The Gyro's going to get a lot done. Rocket Barrage finds one more, and he's going to look for the third. Can they finish it? Nice shards. Keeping DDC in position. And one more auto attack's going to do it. Triple kill for the Gyro. There was a kill on the Underlord up top as well. Sylar grabbing yet another kill. And with a decent start, it's just going to rush straight into the Battle Fury here. Battle for the 8-minute runes. Fade needs to be careful. Checks out bottom. Doesn't see anything down there. Yang coming over to try and help out. Also got the Gyrocopter rotating through, and looks like it will be one more on the pile for Max as they turn this early game around beautifully. Yeah, Yang throws out one more warning blast, but doesn't hit anything. And oh my god, Bristleback with an arcane rune. Q has already done some damage to the mid-tier 1 while the Puck was away. The Naga was holding down this lane in the meantime, but can't really stop the Bristleback. So yeah, Bristle going to be rushing towards that hood. Pipe definitely going to be very nice for his team. Looks like Underlord's going to be going for the Dominator build-up, since they've already got one pipe potentially being built. Not that double pipe is terrible, but I think the Dominator is also quite nice here. Just having some more units potentially to soak up an Omni Slash, always nice. And some pretty value creeps he could get this game. The Troll Trap I think could actually be pretty good. Get some lockdown. Threaten the Jug somewhat so he can't just spin TP. I mean, there is already a Walrus Punch for
Radiant's
that,
top tower is under attack.
always nice to have.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And they are going to give some levels over to the Disruptor. Oh, net up on HMX. He's going to try for the TP out. He does get it. Pretty big dive from VGJ.Thunder there. They just want to try and secure this tier 1 tower. And it looks like they should be able to. Is there a glyph? No. Maybe not enough creeps. They do have 1 point up in the mirror image down bottom. Call down coming through. DDC dropping very low. Yang just going to try for the TP out. Can they get him as well? Barely makes it out.
Top tower has fallen.
DDC will pay with his life. Gyrocopter now kind of starting to relish the fact that they're running so aggressively into his lane. He's just finding kill after kill after kill. Still a bit behind the Jug in terms of overall farm. Bristleback should be somewhat careful. Dream Coil's going to get used. Doesn't want to snap that. Turning around. A couple more kill sprays coming through, and now the Puck in trouble. But they will just be able to be a jaunt away. He'll be A-okay. Even TP threat from Sylar. Put some damage onto HMX. He knows that he can't really finish him off with no Omni Slash. But I like what they've done here. They push past the tower. They get this ward up. They can spot the Underlord if he's trying to farm up these neutrals, and can quite easily smoke over with the Juggernaut +1 and find a kill on him whenever the Omni Slash is up. So HMX is going to have to be a little bit careful. Very big rotation for Max is going to come walking right. Oh my god, it walks right to this ward. They smoke directly on top of it. The Shrine is going to be up soon, but they really want this kill. Sylar even maybe toying with them a little bit. His TP is actually on cooldown, so he does need to be careful. Just going to retreat back through the fog. He's got the Blade Fury at the ready. He is going to be A-okay. So VGJ.Thunder, knowing that all those heroes are wasting their time up top, they're just going to shove in mid lane. DDC doing some work with the Liquid Fire and his barely surviving Catapult. And Thunder looks like they're going to try and make the same rotation. They've got the Veil picked up on the Puck. Doesn't even have any boots just yet, but I don't know if he's going to need them to burst down this Gyrocopter. They can also connect this gank with the Pugna. Can they lock him down? Fade coming forward. 2 points up in the net. Freeze. He's going to try for the immediate TP out, but there's always going to be the Dream Coil to cancel that. Down goes the Gyrocopter. At the very least, it looks like it should be probably a tier 1 for tier 1 trade. Looks like not enough TPs on the Thunder side to defend this. Sylar is moving over. He gets scouted out by this Observer Ward here. think he also may have spotted the Tusk. Yeah, they can't really kill this Jug. DDC comes in with the dual breath, and looks like he will actually be able to hold on to this tier 1 tower just a little bit longer. Freeze even going to keep shoving bottom all the way in. What's his Bristleback up to right now? He's trying to take mid tier 1. I don't know. I feel like Max have spread themselves a little bit thin. Perhaps they can still get this top tier 1, but they might lose somebody else in the process. They see the Jug at mid, but Sylar's run over here. He does have his TP scroll that he's holding up. Ready to go. DDC getting caught out. Does not have a TP scroll, so he's just going to do his best to clear this wave and accept his fate. Who are they going to give this kill to? It is actually going to be the Tusk grabbing it. And a very quick backdoor on that tier 1. Underlord getting a bit closer to his Dominator. Is going for some power trades this game. Nice way to augment your survivability a little bit when you've gone to the Dominator build. Not really too many stats on that, so I like this. Works pretty well with the Soul Ring. You can sometimes get pretty decent right-click damage going with the Atrophy Aura, so why not? VGJ.Thunder. Quick tier 2. Looks like it's going to take one more blast from Yang, but that's going to be no trouble whatsoever, and lots of gold lining the VGJ.Thunder coffers at this point. Sylar going to pick up an extremely timely Battle Fury. Tier tower getting threatened. Gyrocopter does have his drum up now. Bristleback. Song coming through. Fade trying to catch something, but looks like it might just be the Disruptor. Freeze running forward with the haste. Finds the Dream Coil out onto 2. Does get caught inside the Static Storm Kinetic Field. The call down also coming through, and it looks like Freeze just going to get bursted completely. DDC up on the high ground. Does have 3 points up in the Ice Path. He's going to get glimpsed back. Can he get some spells off before he goes down? Drops the Macro Pyro at the very least, but that's all he's going to manage. As Max easily clean up that fight. Bristleback surging forward onto the front lines. Working his way towards the Radiance. Jug not too interested in fighting. Sylar probably wanting the level 2 Omnislash before he gets too involved. That was very brave. VGJ.Thunder. Or maybe they just weren't all on the same page. Freeze thinking that his team was a little bit closer behind, but I don't think the cores were anywhere to be found. Yang was a little bit low on mana, as we saw. Sylar was over here somewhere. Freeze once again in some trouble. Nice dodge on the snowball, but I don't think that's going to be enough. He already used the orb, and he's just dead once again.
It matters not to me.
Max really putting the pressure on. They've got the Underlord to be able to spam out the lanes. They don't have to worry as much about the Juggernaut split push. Still going to be annoying from Sylar. He's probably going to push this bottom lane all the way out. Continue to steal farm from the Radiant jungle. But Max are just plinking away at top. They've got a very slight net worth lead for now. Yang's just going to be going for a Force Staff. Definitely a necessity against this Tusk. He has just picked himself up some phase boots. Max need to be a little bit careful. The Bristleback is quite low on mana. Won't really have too much to say about this next fight. No blink on Puck. The catch from VGJ.Thunder is a little bit minimal for the time being.
That's for me.
Looking like it might just be another game where Sylar has to carry real hard. I'm not 100% sure what kind of item build he's going to go for. Maybe he considers a Silver Edge for the Bristleback a little bit later on. Not a terrible Shadowblade game. Just standard setup so far. On the mid lane, snowball coming forward. They want this kill on the Pugna. He's still pretty speedy. Gonna get glimpsed back into the call down. I don't know if he's gonna be able to escape from this one. Yang doing his best. Does get the 1 charges off, but not enough. Fade picks up the DD. Doesn't want anyone else to have this in this fight. Nice Dream Coil onto a couple, but an even better Ice Shards. VGJ.Thunder cut off, unable to retreat up onto the high ground. DVC futile TP out. Just gets cancelled immediately, and this Gyrocopter is running over this game. Sylar still farming, still holding that #1 spot on the net worth. Does he even think about coming to try and backdoor this tier 1 tower? No, he's got Ancients to farm. He's got bigger fish to fry, and Max are straight into the Roshan pit. They got the Firestorm. They make very quick work of this. Freeze does manage to get some lockdown over onto the Disruptor. One more auto attack is gonna do it. Big control factor removed from this fight. He wasn't able to get the Static Storm off. Freeze getting rooted up. Won't be able to orb. Won't be able to phase shift. Down he goes. Still ends up being a pretty good trade for Max, though.
Radiant's middle tower
They
is
do
under
back
attack.
themselves away from the Roshan pit.
Radiant's middle tower
And
has
they do
fallen.
end up losing the mid-tier 1 at the same time. So perhaps a bit ambitious going for the Roche. They might just head right back in there in a sec, but Thunder at least able to re-establish a little bit more vision control around the area. Yang looks like he's going to head down bot and start threatening there. Is he not opted? Okay, hasn't opted for the Force Staff. Actually, just going to go for the Kaya instead. Yeah, so it looks like he's just going to make bottom lane his home for a little bit. VGJ.Thunder doing a good job of just... They're exploiting the fact that they took this tier 2 tower early on, is really what they're doing. It makes sense. It's just good Dota to always have somebody down here shoving the lane. Because if the lane is in this area, you know that Max are up to something. It's way too suspicious that there's somebody not farming a lane that's kind of threatening the tier 3. So they're going to be able to gather a lot of information from this. Also, it's giving them access to a ton of farm. And VGJ.Thunder are actually the ones to head over, catch the Roche. Max asleep at the wheel, somewhat nice static storm kinetic field, but it's only going to catch onto the 1. They won't be able to get the song off, but Bristleback actually just tanking up the Omni Slash. One more hit from Sylar is going to do it. He's going to get glimpsed, but it looks like the spin damage should be enough. Finishes the kill. The Bristleback not looking tanky at all. He's got so much gold sitting in this relic, but it's not really doing enough. Sylar looks like he will be brought down, but it's just the Aegis. Freeze continuing the fight. Disrupted low on mana. Tusk also a little bit low. Sylar should be able to continue this. Nice kinetic field, but it's not going to trap him as he just spins right on through. The jaunt as well. A little bit of wasted time with the snowball, it looks like, but Rai is definitely going to end up dropping. Do lose the Pugna, it looks like down bottom. But VGJ.Thunder, excellent work. They dragged them away from the Roshan pit. They almost got the tier 3 at bottom. Yang suiciding for that, and denying that Aegis to the Bristleback is going to be very important, especially when he's going for this kind of a build. Like, this is kind of greedy. 1300 HP, just the hood as a defensive item. The Radiance is going to accelerate his farm a lot, but until he picks up that next defensive item after the Radiance, which was kind of supposed to be the Aegis. That was supposed to be the stopgap in the interim.
Radiant's middle tower is
Now
under
he doesn't
attack.
have that, and VGJ.Thunder are starting to pull ahead a little bit. And their burst damage is getting scarier and scarier as time goes on. Pugna's going to pick up the second point in the ultimate. Puck's getting some more levels. And this Jug especially. Sylar, look at this. Farming up a big fat ancient stack. Working on a butterfly. Does actually just grab an S&Y this game. And who stacked all of this for him? Is it maybe the Naga with some illusions or something? Yang's dead once again. Still can't catch him out. Gonna offer them a nether ward as well, it looks like. A little bit of extra gold. But, alright. Max, undeterred, it looks like. They are still gonna come and try and claim this bottom tier 1 tower. Naga illusions pushing over at mid. There's gonna be a Jakiro pushing somewhere else as well in just a second. Underlord doing a good job. He has picked up a pipe, so not actually opting for the Dominator at the end of the day. I guess I don't mind the pipe. There is certainly a lot of magical damage on the VGJ.Thunder side. Very standard item build from the Gyrocopter. Not a single surprise. Actually did go for the health talent instead of the 25 damage, which is a little bit out of the ordinary. But I don't actually...
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
I guess they're just trying to tank up against the burst. But if that's the case, why not get like a Crimson Guard somewhere? Underlord's just going for a Force Staff. Actually has that completed at this stage. Attempt on the Bristleback's life up here. He's going to get coiled. He doesn't have any creeps here to help him tank this Omni Slash. Actually, the creep wave turning up at just the right time. Sylar going to try and keep laying in with the auto attacks, but he realizes that he's in a bad situation. They've got that Walrus Punch to cancel the spin TP. Actually, Bristleback turns this one around beautifully. And that will be the end of Sylar, and this is a big opportunity for Max. They see this wave pushing in at mid. VGJ.Thunder going to do their best to clean this up quickly. But alright, Bristleback with his 250 health talent. Not as squishy as he was the previous time. Oh, can he get the jaunt away? We'll be able to freeze. The Yules isn't going to help him. The Yules is now Song trying to keep him alive. Why does he have a Yules and no blink? Well, I guess he's gonna survive. Well, this is weird. I mean, the blink is a little bit hard to use this game, and the Yules does keep you alive against Static Storm potentially, but the Yules is not that helpful against the Underlord. I don't know. This strikes me as a bit weird. Meanwhile, bottom tier 3 just getting chipped away at. Only 2 points in the liquid fire, but they don't even need too many. Actually just gonna go for this kill straight up on the disruptor. Nice ice path from the low ground. EDC finds that one easily, and now they're forced to send back the Underlord. They do get the tier 2 at mid, but even without the Juggernaut being alive, VGJ.Thunder getting some good work done on the bottom side of the map. Alright, Bristleback is now going to be going back for the Vanguard into the Crimson Guards. Well, probably Crimson. Might not grab it right away. But going to be tanking up nicely off of that. Naga has a Meteor Hammer. Alright, there's pretty much there's a way to avoid that on the max side. Maybe 2 ways. They have a Force Staff and they've got the Snowball. So that'll work out alright, perhaps. Lotus is going to be the selection from HMX, hoping for that big Omni Slash Reflect, perhaps. Is going to get caught out here by the Pugna, who immediately just DPs out. Not going to sit around. Nobody wanted anything to do with that fight. And VGJ.Thunder's going to spam lanes. God, they are so good at spamming lanes out this game. Pretty much every single one of their heroes can actually just shove lanes towards the enemy side of the map, which makes it really hard for Max to play. Like, they always have to deal with bot. The other lanes are also getting shoved. There's tons of space for Sylar to farm. He is just going for an MKB.
We rely
Nice big damage item. Probably anticipating that the Gyrocopter is going to be going for a butterfly. It's the overwhelmingly common build for Gyros. Does also have his BKB up. That I was talking about a little bit with Jakiro. DDC wants to try and split push, but he is going to get punished for that. Though a pretty big commitment. Four heroes coming down to kill him off. And in the meantime, Sylar hits creeps. Because why not? They're going to get the glimpse back onto Freeze. He's already used his Yules. There is apparently, as they now find out, vision up here. Oh, and the 2-man Ice Shard's going to catch him out. Nice song. Yang just going to go for the TP. Fade waits for him. He might not escape here. Is there going to be another shard soon? There's actually just going to be a glimpse. Tried to dodge it, it looks like. No. That was on cooldown from earlier. But with 3 heroes dead, VGJ.Thunder, we saw this a little bit in the previous game. Can they actually hold? The Bristleback is big. He's angry. He's up on their high ground. Fade does still have his Meteor Hammer ready to try and channel it up. DDC gonna drop down the Macropyre. Not even just yet. Continuing to spam. Desperately trying to hold on to their tier 3 if they can. They're gonna drop the Macropyre now along with the Meteor Hammer. Big burst damage onto the Gyrocopter. He didn't press his BKB. And now that he does, it's just a little bit too late. He can't really man up. He's got all these flat cannon charges, but he can't really use them. We're going to try for the evac with the Underlord. Ice Path connects nicely, but everybody escapes. He didn't even go all the way to the fountain. A couple of wasted seconds, but they do get the tier 3. Last time, in the previous game, we saw them in almost exactly the same situation. They committed really hard for the tier 3 tower, and they got caught on the way out. This time around, they've got the Underlord to bail them out. They don't necessarily have the same level of catch on the VGJ.Thunder side, and now they can look to clean up these shrines and start making some further inroads onto the VGJ.Thunder side of the map. We still have not seen Sylar in a fight for a little bit. He is now level 20, picks up the 10 armor talent. Fairly difficult to bring down at this stage, though I do still think that they have the tools to be able to do it. And he's going to just play exactly against that. Doesn't want to get caught in the Static Storm and just get bursted down. Just going to go for a BKB. Oh, Freeze getting caught by the Pit of Malice. Off to the side, he does have the Yules, but still no blink. And straight back into the silence he goes. Gets punched up, brought down. Oh, glimpse attempted on the DDC. Is he going to get caught by the shards? Just managing to escape. Does have a pipe picked up. Yang forced back to defend. Sylar going to do his best to shove out the top lane. Fade, Song not available for 25 seconds, and Yang in some big trouble. The flat cannon actually bringing him down. He gets finished off, even pops that 10-second BKB, and it does absolutely nothing. Sylar's going to try and threaten up top, try and turn this into a little bit of a trade, but HMX already on the case, TPing back, forces Sylar away. They do have backdoor protection here somehow. They need to get this creep wave here, and now Sylar has arrived, but there's a creep wave also ready, and a defensive snowball potentially here as well. Sylar taking big right-click damage, gets the healing ward down, able to shrug that off a little bit. BKB forced out from the gyrocopter fade. Can he get off another net? It's on cooldown. Threatens with the song. There will be a glimpse back. Gyro able to TP out. 897 able to even TP over to go and grab a little bit of farm. And with that, Team Max claiming themselves a little, not a full lane of racks, but a melee barracks cleaned up. Sylar almost has BKB, but as we saw, they can still deal with him decently through the magic community at this point. They also have, they're gonna have an Abyssal Blade soon for the Bristleback, so will not be the Crimson Guard, but definitely a very nice item to have against the Juggernaut. Lock him down, hopefully burst him. Gyrocopter still working on the Butterfly, even though he has seen the MKB over on Sylar.
Double damage.
I mean, it's still good armor, it's still good damage. And VGJ.Thunder. What can they find here? Sylar leads the charge, but he can't immediately go for the Omni Slash. Song's gonna get used. Can't let this run too long. Tusk does have a blink. Managing to snowball. Wait, where's he going? He's over on a DDC. Can he get the blink out? Ooh, getting force staff. They're keeping him alive. Doing this nicely. He uses his wand charges. They're draining him out with Yang. It looks like that will be enough to finish him. Not the cleanest kill. But VGJ.Thunder going to take what they can get. And Sylar looks like he wants the Roche. It's not going to be that easy with the song already used. I think Max definitely has something to say about this. Nice scouting from the Naga Siren Illusions. Fade, just going to try and keep them away. The Roshan is dropping pretty quickly. Sylar, very good right-click damage. Ice Path laid down. They've also got the Nether Ward. The call down coming in. It's going to scout this out. Sylar just committing. He gets the Aegis over into his inventory. Fade retreating back a little bit. Tries for the Meteor Hammer. Cancels it immediately. Bristleback stuck down in the river. And Sylar with the Omni Slash ready to go. Going to try and clean them up. He focuses on the Underlord first. It actually gets dragged over onto the Gyrocopter a little bit, but they split the damage nicely. Can they get them out of here now? Sylar pops his BKB. Just starts to go in with the regular old auto attacks. He's trying to chase down the Gyro, but he's a little bit too fast for him. They now turn their attention over towards the Bristleback. He does have his Abyssal Blade ready, but he knows that the Juggernaut has his Aegis. Freeze getting focused. They use the Abyssal there instead. Double kill picked up for the Bristle. Rai is actually back into this fight. They're going to get the glimpse back. Pugna forced to pop the BKB. Does manage to walk that one off, but Thunder only getting one kill. And even the Underlord taking them a little while to bring down. Sylar, despite all of his net worth, still just getting slowed down a bit. But Sylar, is this just your answer to everything? You know, oh, I'm not doing enough damage. You know what I need? I need a rapier. This is the answer.
Shrine is under attack.
3.8k gold away. Maybe it's gonna work. You get the rapier, you get the +5 Omni Slash strikes. It's what his team needed him to do in the previous game, and it might actually be what his team needs him to do in this game as well. What's Bristleback gonna go for next?
Is under attack.
Is he picking up 30-minute treads? Yes, he is.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This is going to be going for Shiva's up next. That Lotus is now complete on the Underlord to get the Yules up onto the Bristleback. He's a little bit far away from his team. Only 2 people backing him up. He's still very tanky, and without Sylar actually there to do the damage, they're going to get the glimpse back onto the Naga Siren. Ice Path is not going to be enough to save him here. He does manage to just get out of the silence, but not enough. Sylar now forced back to defend. No Naga for 1 minute, and Max very happy to back up, claim the shrine, and regain a little bit of mana on their Bristleback. What talents has he gone for? 20 HP regen, plus 250 health. He is an absolute beast.
Top shrine has fallen.
And Thunder, alright, I think they should be able to defend this until Naga respawns. Just 2 waves to clear. Sylar makes quick work of the first. He's a big guardian for the base with his Aegis in hand. Boots of Travel picked up for Pugna. I think probably keeping his eyes trained on bottom lane. Yang would be very keen to find a Rax trade at this point if he could. Freeze. Alright. Gonna be going for an Aghanim Scepter. I don't really have any ways to break it, but it's definitely help their cause in terms of keeping everybody clumped up together, so Sylar can hopefully chop them all down with this rapier.
We rely not upon fortune.
Okay, I'm wondering if we, if we make a little Sylar carry flowchart, is the answer just, I think all paths lead to rapier. Like, are you ahead and need to close out the game? Rapier. Are you behind and need to catch up? Rapier. DDC is begging for a Force Staff, but nobody has one. They're just going to pop the song. What can they actually do? Sylar arrives. There's going to be enough damage here. That's the big question. He's starting out with the spin. It looks like they're doing decent damage to the Bristleback. Right-clicking through, still saving the Omni Slash. Will now turn his attention over towards the Gyrocopter, waiting for them to group up a little bit. The Omni Slash unfortunately bounces over onto that Underlord. He's once again the only casualty. They're going to buy back on Freeze. Rai and Wrong both running away from Sylar, kiting him around beautifully. He does still have the Aegis, he does still have the cheese, but it's just the Bristleback cleaning up his entire team. He can't do enough damage. Gyrocopter still fighting with everybody else. Freeze gonna try and jump himself away. Still has the blink ready to go as well. Looks like he'll be okay. But Sylar still only able to find the one kill in these fights. And look, I mean, his damage is similar to the Pugna. He's got so many items, he's got so much net worth. But it's just not enough in the face of this very tanky max lineup. And Jug, is he gonna go sell something and buy Rapier? Nope, Sylar just forced to sit here and defend. Can't imagine that he has too much longer left on his Aegis. Sylar might just get that forced out. Nice blink punch, couple more auto attacks are gonna do it. He does lay down the healing ward now, turning back around. Meteor Hammer, they don't want to lay into the Bristleback's back. There is an immediate Abyssal Blade. He gets brought down. That's the Aegis. Respawn coming in on the Pugna in about 5 seconds time as well. Faye gonna try and keep them here. Radiance Burn, a little bit annoying, but alright, VGJ.Thunder. It cost them the Aegis, but they do manage to defend. Omni Slash up in 30 seconds time. Underlord TPing back just to shove out top lane. They have probably seen those BOTs at the Pugna at this on the Pugna at this point and do not want to risk anything. Sylar, is it Rapier time? Is he gonna backpack the two pieces, lock combining, and then just wait till you Omni Slash? Drop it into your inventory then? Maybe he doesn't feel like the situation is desperate enough just yet. Alright, no, there you go. 2 viewers getting surprises for Divine Rapier purchases. Sylar, he's a man of the people. Puck in big trouble. Got Abyssal Bladed. He's dead. 25 seconds. Naga Siren also getting caught out by the homing missile. Won't be able to make it out. VGJ.Thunder just falling apart at the seams as Team Max continue to play as an organized 5. Yang doing his best to push out top lane. Sylar's going to do his best to push out bottom. Is this going to be a base race? Does Sylar even have a TP? Yes, he does. Alright, he's coming back. No, not yet. He's waiting for the cooldown, actually. Is Sylar just going to go for this? Who's coming back on Max? Let's check out the Radiant TP situation. Not great, but they do have the Dark Rift. Alright, Sylar's come back. He's trying to defend. He's got his +5 Omni Slash strikes. Is it going to be enough damage? HMX ready to just bail his team out of there. No risk. They don't go for the top racks. They know that they're still ahead. No reason to throw the game away at this stage. Gyrocopter not as bold as Sylar, is just going to be going for a Daedalus instead of the Rapier. Will that be his undoing? I guess we'll have to see. But Bristle going to grab his Shiva in a second. He is absurdly tanky. Almost has his level 25 as well. DDC picking up a gem, doing whatever he can to maintain some map control over on their side. But all of that split push potential that they had previously is now just being forced into constantly pushing out the mid and bottom lanes. Really important that, in fact, that Max managed to take the bot racks, because they've basically negated the fact that this tier 3 is dead now. Yeah, they've only got 1 lane left to play. They don't really have to worry about the split push because it's going to take way longer to push out bottom. And VGJ.Thunder potentially going to try and find a fight outside of their base, but once again, the catch has just proved to be this massive problem. The puck really just not enough. 5-man smoke coming in. Bristleback's on the front lines, very tanky. HMX sitting not too far behind him. He's got that Lotus Orb ready to go. Tusk runs forward, needs to be careful. Might get caught. Song comes in. Don't have a great Meteor Hammer target. Who are they going to go for? It's just the Ice Path to start out. Macro Power, they burst down the Tusk immediately. He doesn't have a buyback available, but he's going to use it. BKB pops perhaps a little bit early from the Gyro. Sylar still waiting for his opportunity. He spins back, now drops the Omni Slash. It's bouncing through. Who's he actually found? It's killing off the Gyrocopter. Great bounces. Now they turn their attention towards the Bristleback. Sylar still laying waste to everybody with his Rapier. They've managed to bring the Gyrocopter back into the game. He's bought back. They've still got the Healing Ward going strong. They will end up losing the Naga Siren, but that's it. VGJ.Thunder, great fight for them. Sylar getting glimpsed around, but shows no fear. Still has his BKB in reserve. I don't know, Gyrocopter just... I guess he didn't even really die to... to magical damage there, but popped the BKB super early. Thunder doing a nice job of just kiting back a little bit. Sylar staying in the fog over here, and then finally came in. If they'd managed to reflect the Omni Slash, you know, if HMX had been able to get the Lotus up on himself a little bit faster, could have been a pretty big deal. But the fact that he bounced over to the Bristleback and then onto the Gyrocopter and then just killed the Gyro was very unfortunate for Max. And with that, their net worth lead is going to get cut down significantly to only about 3k experience, probably going that same way. Sylar looking towards a Butterfly as the next item. And they even end up just replacing his phase boots. Oh no, he's just going to chow down on a Moonshard.
Illusion.
Can somebody stop this, man? Like, this shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be losing the game. Your team is flubbing things. Everybody's getting picked off, and then you're just like, nah, don't worry, guys. I'm Sylar. I have a Rapier. Aegis Cheese and Refresher Shard will be the bounty for whoever claims this Roshan, but an Ice Shard is going to keep them pinned here. Sylar doesn't have his Omni Slash just yet. It's now off cooldown. Healing Ward's going to heal them up. Meteor Hammer along with the Ice Path going to catch onto two. Sylar, can he get this Omni Slash onto a good target? The Lotus Orb is up. He's just forced to sit here and auto attack for the time being, but he's happy with that. He is getting stunned up. The Abyssal Blade now dropped on his head. Can they keep him alive? He gets the Omni Slash off. Turns towards the Bristle. Finishes him off. He's still got a couple more bounces for the Gyrocopter, and he kills the Gyrocopter as well. VGJ.Thunder have done it. It looks like Sylar going to turn his attention towards the Roshan now. But with Bristle and Gyro both dead, no buyback, Sylar immediately finishes up the Rosh. We've got the Cheese, we've got the Refresher Shard, they've got the Aegis, and this is going to be the beginning of a triumphant march down mid. Oh man. Team Max, once again, they push VGJ.Thunder to the brink. It looks like they have the game in their hands, and then it all falls apart. Yeah, Sylar knows that these buybacks are not available. He marches forward. They've got the Nether Blast. They're making really fast work of these tier 4s, in fact. One more Disruptor kill, maybe for good measure. Nope, Sylar just gonna chop wood onto your Ancient. Still has the BKB. There you go. VGJ.Thunder are gonna do it. When in doubt, Rapier out. What can you say? Like, VGJ.Thunder have a lot of faith in their carry player, and they have a lot of faith in their carry player for very good reason. So that's going to wrap it up for our first series, guys. VGJ.Thunder taking it 2-0. The second game even more important than the first because it is... That's 3 points for them now. So the 2-0 is worth 3. 1-1 is only worth 1. Yeah, all right, Jug, we get it. But very important that they won this one. As we've said, Team Max, that is going to make their record, their final record for the DPL Top 2018 Season 1. 0-5. They didn't take a single game. And we will unfortunately be bidding them adieu. But we're not done with VGJ.Thunder just yet. They have another match coming up later on. Though we are going to have a bit of a break now and then jump into LFY versus CDEC. Which should actually, the lobby should